Hi, I'm Brent Stafford, and this is RegWatch by RegulatorWatch.com. The lawsuit filed today by the state of New York against several vaping companies, including Demand Vape, which is an anchor supporter of RegWatch, is a direct attack not only on a company, but on the entire U.S. nicotine vaping industry, and more importantly, on the rights of adult consumers to access harm reduction products. Let us be unequivocal. RegWatch is proud to have Demand Vape as a supporter. Their commitment to ensuring the availability of vaping products has played a pivotal role in preventing the near-total eradication of legal vaping in the United States. Demand Vape has been a critical supplier, ensuring that adult consumers across the country could continue to access products that offer a safer alternative to smoking. Without their efforts, thousands of small businesses would have been forced to close, and potentially millions of adult nicotine consumers would have been left without access to these life-saving alternatives. The claims made in this lawsuit are the latest example of the continued weaponization of public health rhetoric to justify the prohibition of vaping under the guise of protecting youth. New York's attempt to outlaw flavored nicotine products has been a failure, not only driving products underground, but also reinforcing the black market, where there are no age checks, no quality control, and no consumer protections. The state is now attempting to hold a legitimate business accountable for the very market conditions it created through reckless regulation and outright prohibition. New York's attempt to shift the blame onto Demand Vape ignores the reality that prohibition fuels the black market. Demand Vape is not creating illicit sales. The state's own policy failures have driven consumers and retailers underground. When legal and regulated channels are eliminated, consumers and businesses will find alternative ways to obtain products. Instead of acknowledging this reality, the state is targeting legitimate businesses, fulfilling a demand that prohibitionists refuse to recognize. The allegations that Demand Vape knowingly violated laws by selling flavored vaping products in New York must be understood within the broader context of regulatory abuse. The truth is that New York's ban on flavored nicotine products is not grounded in sound science or effective policy. It is based on ideology, misinformation, and a persistent refusal to recognize that adult smokers rely on these products to quit combustible cigarettes, whereas youth vaping is a separate issue that should be addressed through enforcement and education, not prohibition. Let's be clear. Flavored vaping products are essential to helping adult smokers transition away from deadly combustible cigarettes. The FDA's own data shows that 83% of adult vapers use flavors. Banning them does nothing but push consumers toward illicit markets. There is no public health justification for making safer alternatives to cigarettes illegal, while allowing combustible tobacco to remain widely available. If the goal was truly to protect public health, the state of New York would be promoting harm reduction, not criminalizing it. And finally, Demand Vape is not the enemy. Prohibition is. The real threat to public health is the state's refusal to acknowledge the role that harm reduction plays in reducing smoking rates. RegWatch stands firmly in opposition to this lawsuit, just as we stand in opposition to all government attempts to restrict access to harm reduction products through unjustified flavor bans and regulatory overreach. If Demand Vape is forced out of the market, the consequences could be catastrophic. Fewer harm reduction options, more smoking-related deaths, and a thriving illicit market that operates without oversight. This lawsuit is not about public health. It's about control. It's about bureaucrats and activists who despise nicotine, regardless of how it is consumed, and are willing to use the power of the state to enforce prohibitionist policies at the expense of both consumers and businesses. RegWatch will be continuing to cover this lawsuit closely and advocate for the rights of adult consumers, small businesses, and harm reduction advocates who refuse to accept a government-imposed return to smoking.